In the vast heart of South America, where the rivers swell into an endless maze of black water and flooded forest, lies one of the wildest and least known kingdoms on planet Earth. A world ruled by water, where the line between river and land dissolves, and where every shadow beneath the surface hides a hunter. This is the Orinoco, one of the mightiest river systems on the continent, winding for thousands of kilometers through jungle, savanna and swamp before it pours into the sea. Along its banks and beneath its surface thrives a community of predators as deadly and as varied as any on the planet. When the rains come, the river bursts from its channel and floods the surrounding land, turning the forest into a drowned world of submerged trees and hidden depths. In this liquid labyrinth, life explodes in staggering abundance, and so too does death. It is a paradise of overwhelming biodiversity and a brutal arena where survival is decided in an instant. From the dark water below to the high canopy above, the Orinoco is a stage upon which the oldest battles of nature are fought without pause, beneath the burning tropical sun. Welcome to Wild Orinoco, the battle for survival of apex predators. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation and continue creating quality content. Don't forget to comment below what you thought of the video and tell us where you are watching from so we can talk together. Let's begin. Beneath the dark, slow-moving waters of the Orinoco, where submerged roots tangle in the gloom and the light fades to nothing, glides the heaviest serpent on planet Earth. A predator of pure muscle that needs no venom and no speed, only patience and the crushing power of its own body. The green anaconda, known scientifically as Eunectes murinus, is the largest and most powerful snake in the world, the undisputed sovereign of the South American waterways. In the flooded forests of the Orinoco, it reigns as a silent and invisible force. A great female can exceed 7 meters in length and weigh more than 200 kilograms, her body as thick as a grown man's torso. The males are far smaller, but it is the colossal females that rule the dark water, the true giants of the serpent world. Her olive-green skin, marked with black oval blotches, dissolves perfectly into the murky water and the rotting vegetation of the flooded forest. An anaconda lying in wait is utterly invisible until the very instant it chooses to strike. The anaconda's eyes and nostrils sit high on the top of her head, allowing her to watch and breathe while the rest of her massive body remains completely submerged. She can lie motionless for hours, a living trap hidden just beneath the surface, waiting for the unwary to come within reach. She possesses no venom at all. Her weapon is the slow, irresistible power of constriction, a force that no struggle and no strength can overcome. When she strikes, it is not to poison, but to seize and to crush. The hunt is a masterpiece of patience. The anaconda waits near the water's edge where capybaras come to drink, where caimans bask, where deer wade into the shallows. She betrays nothing, not a ripple, not a movement, until the moment of the attack arrives. When it comes, the strike is shockingly fast. The great head lunges forward, the backward curving teeth seize the prey, and in the same instant, the enormous coils whip around the victim's body, anchoring it against the serpent's overwhelming strength. Then comes the squeeze. With every breath the prey exhales, the anaconda tightens her grip, never crushing bone, but stopping the blood and collapsing the lungs until the heart can no longer beat. Death comes in silence, beneath the black water, with no escape and no mercy. So powerful is the green anaconda that she can subdue prey as large as a capybara, a deer, or even a fully grown caiman. Few creatures in the Orinoco are beyond her reach, and even the great predators of the river give the largest females a wide and respectful distance. Her jaw is a marvel of elasticity, the bones connected by stretching ligaments that allow her to swallow prey several times the width of her own head. After such a meal, she may not need to feed again for weeks, even for months, retreating into the depths to digest in safety. Unlike most snakes, the anaconda gives birth to live young, delivering dozens of fully formed serpents directly into the water. From their very first moment, these miniature hunters must fend for themselves, slipping away into the flooded forest to begin lives of solitary ambush. As an apex predator, the green anaconda controls the populations of mammals, birds and reptiles throughout the Orinoco basin, maintaining the delicate balance of the flooded world. Her presence is felt by every creature that comes to the water's edge. The green anaconda remains the silent queen of the Orinoco depths, the heaviest serpent on Earth and the patient master of constriction. In the dark water beneath the drowned forest, she waits as she has waited for millions of years, a coil of living power that rules her kingdom without a sound. In the same dark waters where the anaconda hunts, a different kind of predator patrols the surface. An armored reptile that has changed little since the age of the dinosaurs, the largest and most powerful crocodilian in all of South America. The black caiman, known scientifically as Melanosuchus niger, is the apex reptilian predator of the Orinoco and the Amazon basins. Larger and more formidable than any other caiman, it is the true ruler of these rivers and the most dangerous reptile in the flooded forest. A great male can exceed 5 meters in length and weigh more than 400 kilograms. Its body is sheathed in dark, armored scales, reinforced with plates of bone, and its very name comes from the deep black coloration that lets it vanish into the night dark water. That dark skin is a hunting tool as much as a defense. Under the cover of darkness, the black caiman becomes all but invisible, a shadow upon the water that betrays nothing as it drifts toward its prey. The night belongs to this ancient hunter. Its eyes are equipped with a special reflective layer that gathers the faintest light, glowing red in the darkness and granting it superb night vision. By night, when most of the river sleeps, the black caiman hunts with deadly advantage. Its bite is among the most powerful of any animal in the Americas, a clamp of bone and muscle that can seize and hold the largest prey. Once those jaws close, there is no struggle that can break the grip of the black caiman. The hunt is a slow and silent approach. The caiman floats motionless, only its eyes and nostrils above the surface, drifting ever closer to a capybara at the bank or a deer in the shallows. Then, in an explosion of water and muscle, it lunges. It seizes its prey and drags it beneath the surface, holding it down until it drowns, then performing the violent spin known as the death roll to tear its meal apart. It is a method of killing perfected over 100 million years, and there is no defense against it. The black caiman is one of the few predators in the river capable of challenging a large anaconda, and the two great hunters share an uneasy rivalry. Where the serpent rules by constriction, the caiman rules by armor and by jaw, and each gives the other a careful respect. For all its ferocity, the female caiman is a devoted mother. She builds a great mound of vegetation in which to lay her eggs, guards it fiercely against all intruders, and gently carries her newly hatched young to the water in her enormous jaws. As an apex predator, the black caiman regulates the populations of fish, capybara and other animals throughout the Orinoco, keeping the entire river system in balance. Its recovery from the brink of extinction is one of the great conservation stories of South America. The black caiman remains the armored sovereign of the Orinoco waters, a living dragon from a vanished age. Beneath the night-dark surface it waits, as it has waited for 100 million years, the patient master of the river's darkest hours. When the dry season tightens its grip on the Orinoco and the great floods recede, the water draws back into shrinking pools and channels, and the river's most infamous hunters gather in their thousands. Small in size, but terrifying in number, they form the most feared swarm in all of South America. The red-bellied piranha, known scientifically as Pygocentrus natereri, is the most notorious freshwater predator on the continent, a fish whose very name has become a byword for ferocity. In the warm waters of the Orinoco, it hunts not as an individual, but as a living storm. Each fish is only around 30 centimeters long, its body flat and silver, flushed with a fiery red across the belly that gives the species its name. Alone, a single piranha is a modest creature. Together in their hundreds, they become one of the deadliest forces in the river. The true weapon of the piranha lies in its jaws. Its teeth are short, triangular and razor-sharp, interlocking like the blades of a steel trap, capable of shearing through flesh and bone with a single bite. For its size, its bite force is among the most powerful of any fish on Earth. Piranhas gather in large groups known as shoals, a strategy that protects them from larger predators and allows them to overwhelm prey far beyond the reach of any single fish. In the shrinking pools of the dry season, these shoals can number in the hundreds. The hunt is a frenzy of astonishing speed. When a wounded or struggling animal enters the water, the piranhas detect the vibrations and the scent of blood from a great distance, converging on the source in a churning, boiling mass of teeth and fury. In a feeding frenzy, the shoal strikes again and again, each fish darting in to tear away a mouthful of flesh before retreating to let the next take its place. A large animal can be stripped to the bone in a matter of minutes, the water erupting into a storm of red. Yet the fearsome reputation of the piranha is, in truth, only half the story. For most of the year, these fish feed on smaller fish, insects, and even fruit and seeds that fall into the water, and the great frenzies occur only in the desperate, crowded pools of the dry season. Even the giants of the river respect the swarm. A wounded caiman, a struggling anaconda, or any creature that falls helpless into the water can fall victim to the piranha's overwhelming numbers, proof that in the Orinoco, even the mightiest are never truly safe. As both predator and scavenger, the red-bellied piranha plays a vital role in the health of the river, clearing away the dead and the dying and keeping the waters clean. In the great cycle of the Orinoco, the swarm is nature's relentless and necessary cleanser. The red-bellied piranha remains the silver terror of the shrinking pools, a hunter whose power lies not in its size but in its number. In the warm, dark water of the dry season, the swarm waits, a living blade that can turn the calm surface into a churning storm of death. Along the banks of the Orinoco, in the family groups that patrol the water with fearless coordination, lives a predator that has earned a fearsome nickname from the people who share its river. A social hunter so bold that it will challenge the very giants of the flooded forest. The giant otter, known scientifically as Pteronura brasiliensis, is the largest member of the otter family on the entire planet and one of the most formidable social predators in South America. Along the Orinoco, it is known as the river wolf for its ferocity and its unbreakable family bonds. A full-grown giant otter can reach nearly 2 meters in length, its long, streamlined body built for supreme speed and agility beneath the water. A coat of dense, velvety fur, completely waterproof, allows it to hunt for hours in the warm river without ever growing cold. Its feet are fully webbed, powerful paddles that drive it through the water with astonishing speed, while its long, flattened tail acts as a rudder for the sharpest of turns. In its pursuit of fish, few creatures in the river can match its agility. But the true strength of the giant otter, like the wolf it is named for, lies in the family. It lives in tightly bonded groups of up to a dozen individuals, hunting, traveling and defending their territory together as a single coordinated unit. The hunt is a cooperative assault. The family fans out through the water, driving schools of fish into the shallows, communicating constantly through a remarkable range of calls, whistles and screams. Working together, they corner their prey and seize it with sharp teeth and quick reflexes. A single giant otter can consume several kilograms of fish in a day, and the family as a whole strips its stretch of river of any creature small enough to catch. They are tireless, intelligent, and relentless hunters of the open water. So bold is the giant otter family that it will confront predators many times the size of any single member. A group of enraged otters has been known to drive off a caiman, harassing the great reptile from every side until it retreats into the depths. Even the largest anacondas and caimans treat a hunting pack of giant otters with caution, for the coordinated fury of the family is a force that few predators are willing to challenge. Within their territory, the river wolves answer to no one. Communication is the heart of the family's success. A constant stream of vocal calls that coordinate the hunt, warn of danger, and bind the group together. Each family defends a stretch of river, marking the banks with scent to warn rival groups away. As a keystone predator, the giant otter controls the populations of fish throughout its territory and serves as a vital sign of a healthy, unspoiled river. Where the river wolves still hunt, the Orinoco remains alive and in balance. The giant otter remains the fearless soul of the Orinoco's currents, the river wolf, whose strength is the family itself. In the warm, bright water of the flooded forest, its calls echoing across the surface are the voice of one of the most loyal and lethal hunters the river has ever known. In the flooded grasslands and along the muddy banks of the Orinoco, where danger lurks in the water and in the shadows, lives the largest rodent on planet Earth. A creature of gentle temperament that has become the great prey at the very heart of the river's food chain. The capybara, known scientifically as Hydrocoerus hydrochaeris, is the largest rodent in the world and one of the most important animals in the entire Orinoco ecosystem. Where the great predators are the hunters, the capybara is the hunted, the foundation upon which their survival is built. A large capybara can weigh more than 60 kilograms, its barrel-shaped body covered in coarse brown fur, standing on short, sturdy legs. It is a giant among rodents, a peaceful grazer, perfectly adapted to a life at the boundary of land and water. Its feet are slightly webbed, allowing it to swim with ease and to move through the marshes and flooded grasslands with surprising grace. The capybara is a creature of the water as much as the land, and the river is both its refuge and its peril. Its eyes, ears and nostrils are set high on its head, allowing it to keep watch and to breathe while the rest of its body remains submerged. When danger threatens, the capybara can slip silently into the water and vanish, leaving only its nostrils above the surface. The capybara is a deeply social animal, living in groups of a dozen or more, relying on the collective vigilance of the herd to detect the approach of a predator. Where one animal might miss the silent glide of a caiman, many sets of eyes and ears rarely do. At the first sign of danger, a sentinel sounds a sharp alarm bark, and the entire group bolts for the safety of the water in a frenzy of splashing and panic. In the water, the capybara can hold its breath for several minutes, using the depths to evade the hunters of the land. Yet the water is no true sanctuary, for it is there that the anaconda waits, there that the caiman drifts, there that the piranhas gather. The capybara lives every moment of its life caught between the dangers of the land and the dangers of the water, a creature surrounded on all sides by death. Its defense is not strength, but numbers and vigilance, and above all, the sheer speed of its reproduction. A capybara herd breeds quickly, producing enough young to sustain not only itself, but every great predator that depends upon it for survival. As a keystone prey species, the capybara is the engine of the entire Orinoco food chain, transferring the energy of the grasslands to the predators of the river. Its grazing also shapes the landscape, keeping the marshes open and the vegetation in balance. The capybara remains the patient heart of the Orinoco, the great prey upon which an entire kingdom of hunters depends. In the flooded grasslands beneath the tropical sun, it grazes with quiet endurance, a reminder that in the river of life, even the hunted are the foundation of all that lives. High above the flooded forest, where the canopy forms a roof of green over the dark water below, soars the most powerful bird of prey in all of the Americas. A hunter so strong that it rules the treetops the way the anaconda rules the depths. The harpy eagle, known scientifically as Harpia harpiger, is the apex aerial predator of the South American rainforest and one of the largest and most powerful eagles on Earth. In the skies above the Orinoco, it reigns without rival. A female harpy eagle can weigh up to 9 kilograms, with a wingspan of more than 2 meters, her body built not for soaring over open country, but for explosive power and agility within the dense forest canopy. She is a hunter of the treetops, an ambush predator of the sky. Her talons are the true measure of her power. As large as the claws of a grizzly bear, they can exert a crushing force capable of breaking bone, and they are her primary weapon, seizing and killing prey in a single devastating strike. The harpy eagle hunts among the branches, perching in silence for hours, watching and listening for the movement of prey in the canopy below. Her eyesight is extraordinary, able to spot the smallest movement from a great distance through the tangle of leaves. When she strikes, she drops from her perch and powers through the canopy with shocking speed and agility, weaving between the branches to seize her prey before it can flee. The attack is over in an instant, the great talons closing with lethal force. Her favored prey are the animals of the treetops, the monkeys and the sloths that imagine themselves safe high above the forest floor. With a single strike, the harpy eagle can pluck a monkey from a branch and carry it away, a feat of strength few predators could match. So powerful is her grip that she can lift prey nearly equal to her own body weight, hauling it up into the canopy to feed. In the world of the treetops, no creature is truly beyond the reach of the harpy eagle. Harpy eagles pair for life and raise their young with extraordinary care, devoting years to the raising of a single chick. They build enormous nests high in the tallest trees, returning to the same site for many years to raise the next generation of hunters. As an apex predator of the canopy, the harpy eagle controls the populations of monkeys, sloths, and other tree-dwelling animals, keeping the upper world of the forest in balance. Its presence is a sign of a rainforest still whole and still wild. The harpy eagle remains the silent monarch of the Orinoco canopy, the most powerful eagle in the Americas and the ruler of the world above the water. In the green twilight of the treetops, it watches and waits, a shadow with talons of iron that falls upon its prey without warning. In the deep gloom of the rainforest floor, where the great predators of the water never reach, waits a hunter of pure and silent menace. A serpent whose strike carries death in a single drop, the longest venomous snake in all of the Americas. The bushmaster, known scientifically as Lachesis muta, is the largest viper in the world and the most feared snake of the South American jungle. Its scientific name, muta, means silent, for unlike the rattlesnake, it gives no warning before it strikes. The bushmaster can exceed 3 meters in length, a heavy-bodied serpent patterned in dark diamonds and blotches that vanish perfectly against the leaf litter of the forest floor. A bushmaster lying in wait is all but impossible to see until it is far too late. It is an ambush hunter of supreme patience. The bushmaster coils among the fallen leaves and waits, sometimes for weeks, in the very same spot, relying entirely on its camouflage and its stillness to bring prey within reach. Its weapons are a pair of long, hinged fangs, the longest of any viper in the Americas, capable of folding back against the roof of its mouth and swinging forward to drive deep into its prey. Through these fangs flows a potent venom that destroys tissue and blood alike. When a small mammal wanders within range, the strike is a blur. The bushmaster lunges forward, drives home its fangs, and injects a massive dose of venom before releasing its prey to flee. Then it simply waits, tracking the dying animal by scent until the venom does its work. The venom is devastating, a complex cocktail that attacks the blood and the tissues, ensuring that even prey which struggles free will not travel far. The bushmaster follows the scent trail with its flicking tongue, claiming its meal once the poison has brought it down. So large is the bushmaster that it can deliver more venom in a single bite than almost any other snake. A dose powerful enough to fell prey far larger than itself. In the silent world of the forest floor, few creatures are willing to risk an encounter with this serpent. Unique among the pit vipers of the Americas, the female bushmaster lays eggs rather than giving birth to live young, guarding her clutch in a burrow until they hatch. Even this solitary and deadly hunter shows a flicker of care for the next generation. As an ambush predator, the bushmaster controls the populations of rodents and other small mammals on the forest floor, a silent force in the balance of the jungle. Its presence is felt by every small creature that moves through the leaf litter. The bushmaster remains the silent assassin of the Orinoco jungle, the longest venomous serpent in the Americas, and the patient master of the forest floor. In the deep shadows beneath the canopy, it waits without a sound, a coil of hidden death in the green heart of the wild. In the dense forests and along the muddy banks of the Orinoco, where the river meets the land, stalks the most powerful cat in all of the Americas. Unlike the great cats of other continents, this hunter does not fear the water. It rules it. The jaguar, known scientifically as Panthera onca, is the apex land predator of the Orinoco basin and the third largest cat on the planet, surpassed only by the tiger and the lion. In the flooded forests of South America, it is the undisputed king. A large male jaguar can weigh more than 100 kilograms, its powerful compact body wrapped in a golden coat patterned with dark rosettes. That coat is a masterpiece of camouflage, breaking up its outline among the dappled light and shadow of the forest. The jaguar possesses the most powerful bite, relative to its size, of any big cat on Earth, capable of exerting a force of more than 4,500 newtons. It is a bite so strong that it can pierce the armored skull of a caiman or crack the thick shell of a river turtle. Unlike most great cats, which kill with a bite to the throat, the jaguar employs a unique and terrifying technique. It bites directly through the skull of its prey, driving its canines into the brain and killing in a single, instantaneous strike. The jaguar is an exceptional swimmer, utterly at home in the water, and it hunts the creatures of the river with fearless confidence. It will plunge into the current to seize fish, capybara, and even caimans, dragging its prey from the water with astonishing strength. The hunt is a lesson in patience and stealth. The jaguar stalks silently along the riverbank, using the cover of the forest, closing the distance to a basking caiman or a drinking capybara before launching its explosive final charge. When it attacks a caiman, the jaguar performs one of the most extraordinary feats in the animal kingdom. It seizes the great reptile, drives its skull-piercing bite home, and hauls the thrashing body, often as heavy as itself, out of the water and into the forest. So powerful is the jaguar that it can drag prey twice its own weight up a riverbank or even into the branches of a tree. Few predators on Earth combine such raw strength with such precision and such fearless versatility. As the apex predator of the Orinoco's banks, the jaguar controls the populations of capybara, caiman, and other animals, keeping the entire ecosystem in balance. As a keystone species, its presence ripples through every level of the river's web of life. The jaguar remains the golden sovereign of the Orinoco, the most powerful cat in the Americas, and the only great feline that rules both the land and the water. In the green shadows of the riverbank, it moves with silent power, the king of the flooded kingdom. Beneath the murky surface of the Orinoco, in the still backwaters and the muddy shallows, hides a predator that kills with a weapon unlike any other in the river. Not with teeth, not with venom, not with crushing coils, but with a weapon of pure electricity. The electric eel, known scientifically as Electrophorus electricus, is one of the most extraordinary predators on the entire planet. A creature capable of generating a charge powerful enough to stun a grown horse. In the dark waters of the Orinoco, it is a living battery of death. Despite its name, the electric eel is not a true eel at all, but a kind of knife fish, a long, cylindrical creature that can grow to more than 2 meters in length. Most of its body is given over not to muscle or organs, but to the specialized cells that generate its astonishing power. These cells, packed in their thousands along the length of its body, work together like the cells of a battery, each adding a small charge until the eel can unleash a jolt of more than 600 volts. It is the most powerful electric shock produced by any animal on Earth. The electric eel uses its power in 2 distinct ways. A low-voltage pulse acts like radar, allowing the eel to navigate and to sense its surroundings in the murky water where eyesight is useless. A high-voltage blast is reserved for hunting and for defense. The hunt is a sudden and invisible ambush. When the eel detects a fish nearby, it unleashes a burst of high-voltage shocks that stuns or paralyzes the prey in an instant, leaving it helpless and twitching in the water. The eel then simply swims forward and swallows its motionless victim whole. In a remarkable display of cunning, the electric eel can even curl its body to concentrate its charge, doubling the strength of its shock against larger or more dangerous prey. It is a hunter that wields its weapon with surprising precision and control. So powerful is its charge that the electric eel fears almost nothing in the river. A single shock is enough to drive off a caiman, to stun an attacking predator, or to deter any creature foolish enough to disturb it in the muddy shallows. The electric eel must rise to the surface to breathe, gulping air through its mouth, for it draws most of its oxygen from the air rather than the water. This adaptation allows it to survive in the stagnant, oxygen-poor backwaters where few other large fish can live. As a specialized predator, the electric eel controls the populations of fish in the still waters of the Orinoco, a unique and irreplaceable link in the chain of river life. Few creatures on Earth hunt in so strange and so powerful a way. The electric eel remains the living lightning of the Orinoco depths, a hunter that wields a weapon found in no other great predator on the planet. In the dark, still water of the flooded forest, it waits in silence, a current of death hidden beneath the calm surface. In the wider, deeper stretches of the Orinoco, a critically endangered giant clings to survival, a reptile so rare that few human eyes have ever seen one in the wild. It is a creature found almost nowhere else on Earth, the true and ancient ruler of this river. The Orinoco crocodile, known scientifically as Crocodilus intermedius, is one of the rarest and largest crocodilians in the Americas and a species found in only this single river basin. Once abundant, it was hunted to the very brink of extinction, and today only a few thousand remain. A great male can exceed 5 meters in length, making it one of the largest predators in all of South America. Its long, narrow snout and pale, tan-colored hide distinguish it from the dark caiman, marking it as a creature uniquely adapted to the waters of the Orinoco. That long, slender snout is a specialized tool, perfectly shaped for catching the fish that make up much of its diet, snapping shut with lightning speed in the murky water. But the Orinoco crocodile is a powerful generalist, taking prey of every kind that comes within its reach. The hunt is one of patience and ambush, the same ancient strategy perfected by its kind over 100 million years. The crocodile floats motionless near the surface, betraying nothing, then lunges with shocking speed to seize its prey in its powerful jaws. It dispatches larger prey with the violent spin of the death roll, dragging its victim beneath the water to drown. As one of the apex predators of the river, it has few rivals but the black caiman and the great anaconda, and it shares the Orinoco uneasily with both. The female Orinoco crocodile is a devoted parent, digging her nest in the sandy riverbanks during the dry season and guarding it fiercely until her young emerge. She carries her hatchlings to the water in her jaws and watches over them through the dangerous early weeks of their lives. The story of this great reptile is one of both tragedy and hope. Slaughtered for its hide through the last century, it was reduced to a tiny remnant of its former numbers, and it remains one of the most endangered crocodiles in the world today. Yet conservation efforts now fight to bring the Orinoco crocodile back from the edge, protecting its nests and raising its young to restore the species to the river it once ruled. Its survival is a measure of the river's own future. As an apex predator found in this river and almost nowhere else, the Orinoco crocodile is a living symbol of the basin's unique and irreplaceable wildlife. Where it still swims, the ancient soul of the river endures. The Orinoco crocodile remains the rare and fading sovereign of its namesake river, a giant from a vanished age, clinging to survival in the last of its wild waters. In the murky current of the Orinoco, it waits as its ancestors did, the endangered king of a kingdom that may yet be saved. When the great floods of the wet season give way to the long, harsh, dry season, the entire Orinoco transforms, and with it the lives of every creature within. The river is not a fixed and unchanging place, but a living world that breathes to the rhythm of the rains. During the wet season, the rains swell the Orinoco until it bursts its banks and floods the surrounding forest and grassland, drowning the land beneath a vast and shallow sea. In this flooded world, prey scatters across an endless expanse of water, and the hunters must work to find them. For the predators of the river, the flood is a time of plenty, but also of difficulty. The anaconda, the caiman, and the giant otter spread out across the drowned forest, their prey dispersed across thousands of square kilometers of newly flooded land. But as the rains cease and the dry season comes, the water begins its slow retreat, draining back into the river's channels and pools. The drowned forest emerges once more, and the scattered creatures of the wetland are forced to gather around the shrinking water. As the pools grow smaller, the concentration of life becomes extraordinary. Fish crowd into the dwindling channels, capybara gather at the remaining water, and the great predators converge upon these last refuges in a gathering of hunters and hunted. It is in this season that the river becomes a true arena. With prey and predator pressed together around the shrinking pools, the anaconda strikes more often, the caiman feeds more freely, and the piranhas gather in their deadliest swarms. The distance between life and death narrows to a few meters of muddy water. This relentless cycle of flood and drought is the engine that drives the entire Orinoco ecosystem. It renews the land, it feeds the predators, and it sustains a balance that has endured for countless thousands of years beneath the tropical sun. The weakest fall and the strongest endure, and through this merciless rhythm, the great web of the river is maintained. Death in the dry season is not an ending, but the fuel that carries life through to the return of the rains. When the rains finally come again, the river rises, the forest floods, and the whole great cycle begins anew. The Orinoco has no true beginning and no true end, only the eternal turning of the seasons, the endless dance of water, life, and death. The Orinoco remains one of the last great wild kingdoms on Earth, a river ruled by ancient hunters and shaped by the rhythm of the rains. From the dark depths where the anaconda waits to the high canopy where the eagle reigns, the wild heart of South America still beats strong. Every creature here, predator and prey alike, plays its part in a balance so delicate and so ancient that it has shaped the very face of the continent. To protect this river is to protect a piece of the living, breathing wild that few places on Earth still hold. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the wild kingdom of the Orinoco. If you enjoyed this documentary, please leave a like, subscribe for more, and tell us in the comments where in the world you are watching from. Until next time, keep exploring the wild.